Hey everybody, I'm alive! That's right, it's your favorite Michigan girl and wannabe Jedi, pop culture geek, and resident Disney nerd, Caitlin. I am back after like 3 weeks of not posting anything, and here's the reason. I was actually debating this a long time ago, whether or not I would keep doing the weekly pop culture vlogs, because it just seemed like a lot of people didn't like it. They weren't getting a lot of views, so um, I decided after the last one to take a couple weeks off, recenter, and I decided that there will no longer be Michigan Girl pop culture news. I'm just going to focus on what people seem to like the most, which are my videos where I basically rant on and on about Star Wars, reaction videos, though I will do better in the future. Hopefully I'll not make them so bad. And just basic little snippets of this is my life. Look at the cool stuff I get to do. Like this is the zoo I get to go to and stuff like that. So no more Michigan Girl pop culture news stuff. It's pretty much just gonna be Star Wars reactions and life in Michigan. So sorry guys if you like the vlogs, but I just decided that it wasn't really worth doing them anymore, spending that much time and effort into doing them, rushing to put them together. So no more vlogs. I am sorry about the lighting. It's weird because it's actually almost 7 o'clock at night. And I felt bad and wanted to get this up. So, of course, what else is gone tonight? Star Wars! Yes, I have a K2SO shirt. My mom has gone kind of crazy. Like I said, I'm leaving soon, probably in a few weeks. Actually, I don't know when yet. Leaving to go spend the summer at Mackinac Island, which I'm so excited about. So my mom's kind of been like, oh my gosh, my daughter's going away for like almost 8 months. What am I going to do? So, she's kind of been, how should I put this? She's enabling my Star Wars addiction. Okay. Like, my mom, we went to Myers and she got me this shirt and she got me another Rogue One shirt, which has, Vader and Krennic and Stormtroopers on it. And then we go to, Walmart and they had this really cute Star Wars shirt that had like Vader and Boba Fett and the Stormtrooper chibi version, so little mini version, and she got me that. And then we went to Walmart the other day and she got me a pair of Star Wars sleep pants, another pair, and a Star Wars nightgown that again has chibi Star Wars characters. And it's like, oh my gosh, my mother is enabling my addiction to Star Wars. This is awesome. You know, it's like so cool that my mother, she's seen Star Wars, doesn't really like Star Wars, but she's happy to live with her crazy wacko adult daughter who is kind of crazily addicted to Star Wars. So she is she says she needs to stop taking me to stores where there might be Star Wars stuff. Because it seems like every time I go out, I come home with something Star Wars relatable, and so I really do need to stop doing it. But she thinks it's cute now. Anyway, tonight is the first of the final 3 episodes of Rebels. Okay, so it's more like the final 4 episodes of Rebels, but the last 2 are going to be aired together as an hour-long special, and that's kind of how they're going to present it on probably the DVDs, Blu-rays. So I'm saying 3 final episodes of Star Wars Season 3. I mean, Rebels Season 3. But don't panic, because we did get some good news a few days ago. There is going to be a Rebels Season 4. Yes! Hooray! I'm so excited. Which, of course, means a Star Wars celebration, which is in just like 6 or 7 weeks, people. There's going to be a big, huge Star Wars Rebels panel led by none other than Dave Filoni himself, which is super exciting. And he's promising a lot of special guests and some special sneak peeks. Maybe we'll get the first look of a trailer from Star Wars Rebels Season 4. Speaking of Star Wars Celebration, this will actually be the last Star Wars Celebration until 2019. That's right, there won't be a Star Wars Celebration next year. Now, I read the article and the reasoning kind of makes sense. They are doing the Star Wars Celebrations they want to return the Star Wars Celebrations to when they coincided with the releases of the movies in the Skywalker Legacy. You know, episodes 1, those episodes. They don't really want to do that. They weren't really planning on doing them every year. So it's kind of been a fluke. They've had Star Wars Celebrations a lot. So next year they're taking a break. Of course, I also find it interesting that the next Star Wars Celebration is slated for 2019, which will be the release of the final of Star Wars Episode 9, but will also be the year that Disney World is slated to open the first Disney Star Wars land. So that's kind of interesting, and I'm betting they will have it in Florida that year, and they will probably try to match up the celebration dates with the opening day for Star Wars Land. Just like this year, they're doing Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, and they're also doing this special event called Star Wars Galactic Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I almost called it Star Wars Hollywood. But yeah, no Star Wars Celebration this year, but that's okay because we're probably going to get a ton of stuff of Star Wars this year. Not only are we going to have that awesome Rebels Season 4 panel, but there's also rumors that maybe we might see a trailer for Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This is kind of getting buzzed around the net from what I've read on some of the articles, simply because of the fact that both Kathleen Kennedy and the director of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, I think it's Rain Johnson, well, I don't know. They are both going to be doing a panel together. This will be so cool, especially since Disney just aired footage of Star Wars Last Jedi to shareholders. And from what it's they haven't released the footage, of course, but apparently one of the things that stood out to shareholders stood out to people who saw the footage is it did show Luke, and he did speak. Yes, he spoke, and he said, "Who are you?" And it's like, okay. And of course, there's the fact that the Last Jedi director kind of freaked everybody out on Twitter because somebody asked him what the Last Jedi actually means. He went, it's like fine, and we're like, what? Like, no, this can't be the end. He's like, no. So hopefully it does not mean the final Jedi, like no Jedi ever again. They're kind of my heroes, but yeah, so. Crazy stuff. But let's get back to tonight. Tonight's episode, Star Wars Rebels, is entitled Double Agent Droids. For the honor, I am, of course, wearing K2SO. And, of course, it is Chopper, which is exciting. And for the first glance, you're probably thinking, yeah, this is probably just another filler episode. But as they said last season, you can't think of any Star Wars Rebels episode as filler episodes. Because of the fact they are working so hard to connect every aspect of the Star Wars universe now, that is canon. Pretty much you can't disregard any Star Wars episode as filler, ever. So even though this may seem like a filler episode, it's probably not. There's probably something in there that we need to see that will come into play later. I mean, they pointed out in go back all the way to Star Wars, to the Rebels, like season 1 and season 2, especially season 2, when Ahsoka says she's getting worried about these weird things around the planet Mustafar. Something weird is going on there. And of course, we all think Mustafar. And of course, we remember what Hera tells Ezra. Kanan says Mustafar is where Jedi go to die. And then you have Ahsoka going, I've been getting strange readings from Mustafar. And then what do we see in Rogue One? Ta-da! Vader built a castle on Mustafar. It's like, really? You want to build okay. That's kind of the place where your life ended, but okay, whatever floats your boat. Please don't choke me. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to really look at a Rebels episode now and go, oh, it's just filler, because it actually might not be filler. So, tonight is Double Agent Droids. Well, let's go back to the episodes I haven't talked about. I think the last one I talked about was actually Trials of the Darksaber. Interesting going into Legacy of Mandalore. It was a really cool episode, and we kind of learned a little bit more about Mandalorians during the reign of the Empire, which is that if one Mandalorian ran away from the Empire, aka Sabine, after discovering that the weapons she was helping to build were kind of subjecting her people to years and years of Imperial tyranny, well, if said Mandalorian ran away, then the other Mandalorian people would gain up on her family and kind of, oppress them. And that was interesting. So it was really cool seeing Sabine talk to her family, get things worked out. But what was most interesting to me was the ending. And I don't think I'm spoiling anything because it's been talked about. Sabine stays on Mandalore. Yeah, that kind of shocked me too. I mean, that was the last thing I was expecting. I was expecting, Fen Rau to step forward and be the leaders, to start the Mandalorian side of the rebellion, and go, yeah, we'll stand up. No, I was not expecting Sabine, one of the coolest Star Wars characters ever, to say that she was going to stay on Mandalore until she could find the true Mandalorian leader and hand the Darksaber over to them. Now, when Sabine got the Darksaber, I'm like, oh, cool, she's the next leader of Mandalore. No, she does not want to be the leader of Mandalore and does not feel she is leader of Mandalore. So she's going to stay on Mandalore, help the Mandalorian rebels, and find whoever is supposed to be wielding the Darksaber, and therefore be the next leader of her people. It's kind of sad that Sabine left Rebels, and it's going to be interesting to see this moving forward, if Sabine will return next season, if we will go back to Mandalore. I don't think they are done with Sabine. She was such a really key player. And it's kind of sad that at long last we have we have a story arc with her. She becomes kind of this bigger character in season 3, only for her to leave. So it's just sad. So I'm really hoping Sabine comes back next season. I'm really hoping we might go back to Mandalore. I mean, it's definitely interesting. It would definitely be really interesting to see Mandalore during the rebellion, especially since I think we kind of got cheated out of seeing Mandalore at the end of the Clone Wars, because Disney didn't want to finish it. So, yeah, I would really like to go back next season and see more Mandalore and check in Sabine and see how she's doing. That would be really cool. And then we went into, I'm trying to remember it. I think the next episode was Through Imperial Eyes. This one was really good. I'm a fan of old TV shows, and one of my favorite TV shows is MASH. And MASH did an episode where the entire episode was shot from the point of view of a wounded soldier sent to the MASH to recover. The opening of Through Imperial Eyes, it reminded me of that, because we see like the first couple minute or so of the episode through Callus's eyes. And it was just a really great episode. I loved seeing what life is like for Callus now that he's not only an Imperial, but he's an agent, he's Fulcrum, he's spying for the rebels. And of course, now he's working under Thrawn, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, Thrawn is like 10 steps ahead of everybody. So he has to be Fulcrum while trying to avoid Thrawn's knowledge. And it was really cool seeing Ezra come in. It's like, I'm not here to warn you, I'm here to rescue you. You're getting out of here. Which makes Callus's decision at the end to stay even more like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, Thrawn's like, I know who the spy is. Like, no. But, of course, one of the coolest things about Through Imperial Eyes was it was the reintroduction of a fan-favorite character from Clone Wars, Admiral Yularen. Only he's not an admiral anymore. He kind of took a cut when the Republic became the Empire. He's now Colonel Yularen. Blech. I prefer Admiral. And apparently he's running the ISB, the Imperial Service Bureau or whatever. It's, as they said, it's a combination of America's FBI and CIA, and hopefully they do a better job. Anyway, he was kind of the guy who trained Callus, so he has this great respect for Callus, and Callus is like, oh my gosh, you're my role model. And I'm like, no! I mean, I really liked Yularen during Clone Wars. I always think it's funny watching the episodes with him and Anakin, because it's like, Yularen is like so straight-laced and by the books, and you have Anakin's like, there's a rule book, out the window, let's go jump off the bridge. So I always liked Yularen because it was so funny just watching his reactions and how he was like, why? My favorite line is from Jedi Crash when he goes, are all Jedi so reckless? And it's like, oh, just the good ones. So it's like, oh, I don't think that's a good thing, but I really liked Yularen, so it was really cool seeing him, but at the same time, it's sad because he's an Imperial, and it's also sad because we already know Yularen's fate. Yularen is on the Death Star, the first Death Star, when it is blown up. So sadly, this really kind of cool fan favorite character from Clone Wars doesn't have such a happy ending. But it was still really nice to see him. I hope we see him again. I think we will. But like I said, it was nice to see Yularen, even though he is now in part of the Empire. But who knows? Maybe he's like tries to help people. I don't know. But it was really cool seeing Admiral Yularen back, and it was nice. It was awesome. Last week's episode was Secret Cargo, and this was the one where we saw in the trailer, we freaked out. Mon Mothma appeared, and not only Mon Mothma, but near the end, we also saw Senator Bail Organa and General Dodonna. So that was like, oh! It was like, yay! The rebellion leaders, we see them. This is awesome, especially coming off of Rogue One. And by the way, the voice of Mon Mothma was the same actress who played her in Rogue One. It was like, oh, yay! It was so cool. I was so happy. But yeah, Mon Mothma appeared last week in Secret Cargo. And we got to see Ezra fly an A-Ring, which was awesome, through a nebula. And I saw that, and it's like, I see certain parts of Rebels, and I have flashbacks to Clone Wars, and I think it was Destroy Malevolence, or Shadow Malevolence. It was one of the Malevolence episodes, and Anakin leads his squadron through, Gold Squadron, too! I don't think it was Gold Squadron, I don't know, but he leads them through a Nebula, and I'm just having so many flashbacks watching Ezra and the Ghost and Gold Squadron go through the Nebula, and I'm like, wow. Now all I need is a gigantic ship with a massive ion cannon. Which, again, flashback, the A-Wings actually had ion cannons, like little ones. I'm like, oh my gosh. Rebels, you're killing me with all this stuff, but it was really cool. And I learned an important lesson. When traveling through a nebula, never use your proton torpedoes. You use those and everything goes boom. Really cool though. It was awesome, and at the end, Mon Mothma gives this amazing speech because she's being hunted by the Empire because she dared at the beginning. You see her daring to speak up at the Senate against the Emperor. And then you hear, and then she gives this really thrilling speech about how she stood up and now she's being hunted and she wants everybody to come together and as one we can stand up. And it's just like, she does the speech from the Ghost, so you hear it, it's beautiful, it's awesome. And during the speech, they show you like Lothal with Ryder Azadi, they show you Bail Organa and General Dodonna, and they show you all these other people who are listening to this speech. And then it's silence because she's asking them to come to her. I think they're by Dantooine. I don't know if they actually went there or not. But that was where she was going. So she's asking people to come to her. And so they can form the start of what will be, in Rogue One, the Rebel Alliance. And you just see nothing. There's empty space. And it's like, oh, I don't guess nobody heard. And then you hear boom, boom. And all these ships come out of hyperspace into like the Corvettes and the Hammerheads. And you go, yay! It's like, it was amazing. It was really cool to see the start of pretty much the start of the Rebel Alliance as we saw in Rogue One and Star Wars. So it was really cool and to see pretty much like how the official alliance all started and these cells kind of coming together. It will still be a bumpy road. We saw that in Rogue One, but it was still a really amazing moment. And tonight we have Double Agent Droid. But next Saturday's episode is the one fans like me, because he's my favorite Jedi Master, we are excited for. We are ecstatic. Next week is Twin Suns. And Disney XD has been promoting this episode like crazy. They came out with a trailer for the last few episodes of the season, which they've been running on TV. Well, guess what? They released not only online but on TV like a 13-second ad for Twin Suns that just features Maul and Obi-Wan and like the start of their epic fight. I saw it and I freaked out. I still freak out whenever I see it. So this trailer is they are really kind of promoting this thing. It's like the ultimate match. This is what we have been waiting for as fans since Maul returned in Clone Wars. We have been waiting for this one last epic lightsaber battle between Maul and Obi-Wan. And we all know who will win, but we just want to see it. So they're really kind of pushing this episode, and I'm kind of thinking this may be that Twin Suns might be one of the best episodes of the season. It's very interesting. So far, reaction has been probably the top episode of season 3 so far has been Trials of the Darksaber. That's probably closely followed by my mind Through Imperial Eyes, and then Visions and Voices. Those two are kind of tied for second. So it's kind of really interesting that some of the better episodes of the season have really had nothing to do with like the Force as kind of the guiding light. But I'm betting Twin Suns will be a really great episode. I wish it was an hour. It's only a half hour, so they've got to jam-pack everything. And then, of course, after that, it is the season finale, 2-part season finale. I think it's called 0 Hour. So, after tonight, we only have 2 more weeks of Star Wars Rebels left. And then after Celebration, we won't, except for, like, trailers and stuff, we won't get any Star Wars Rebels stuff until this fall. Phew. But still, it's kind of sad to think about. We have tonight's episode, and then we got 2 more, and it's over. And tonight's episode is the Obi-Wan Darth Maul duel. I was kind of hoping that would be the season finale, but I'll take it. So that's it for now. I am back. I do not know when I will vlog again. I will try to vlog next week. I might actually wait until after Twin Suns and do a vlog then, and just hit like the important episode. So I don't know. I'm going to work on it. So I'm going to go post this because it's like 7 o'clock. So I have like an hour and a half till Rebels comes on. I've got some stuff to do. So thanks for watching, you guys. If you like, you can click comment or like. If you can click subscribe or like, leave a comment below. Let me know what Rebels episode so far this season has got you going. Do you agree that Trials of the Darksaber is one of the better episodes, or is it one of the earlier episodes? How do you guys feel about Sabine leaving Rebels? Let me know. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'm your favorite mission girl, Wannabe Jedi, and I'm your favorite mission girl, Wannabe Jedi. I need to get going because I'm loopy. And as always, may the Force be with you.